Hi, and as I promised, here we are in the Grant Hall, and since we were here last, it's an amazing change, and we'll get to see some of the things, and we've got people today, and we're going to talk to Brian Bell from Heritage Moose Jaw, and also to Liam, who's been the project manager here. So, Brian, first of all, Heritage Week, what a great place to have a segment.
And what a great segment to be covering, the recovery of this hotel.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. When people get to come here, they're just going to go like crazy.
Well, as a matter of fact, there was a showing of the Grant Hall in the fall, and there was so much public response. People were phoning the library wanting to know about what's in the archives and scurrying for information. The library called me and said, for the Heritage presentation this year, could you guys focus on the Grant Hall?
And that takes place Tuesday night?
Tuesday night at 7:30 at the library in the theater.
Yeah, and that's February the 18th?
19th.
19th, okay.
And prior to that, we had a promotion yesterday. We gave away 60 tickets for people that'll be just by invitation only to come on a tour of the building at this point. Yeah. So that'll happen at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, but that's already a closed, finished deal. Yeah.
But I bet you those people are thinking they don't know how lucky they are.
The response was immediate. The phone lines lit up at the radio station, and Elsewhere Tourism Moose Jaw, I couldn't get there with the tickets before the people got there to get the tickets. Yeah. So, oh yes, there's pent up interest in this building and has been for decades.
And that's because Liam and his people have been spending, how many years has it been now, Liam?
Well, this is my 5th year going into this project, so it's been unbelievable to see the transformation happen right in front of my eyes.
Well, right in front of our eyes. This is so beautiful. You know, people come in. The luxury and the grandeur of the hotel has returned.
Absolutely. And I'm sure since the last time you were here, you've seen quite a change.
Well, we were in the basement when they were putting in the thermal energy, and that was quite a feat in itself. But up here, upstairs, is just quite something.
Well, it's a fusion of the new technology with the old infrastructure. So it's exciting to see that we've used the technology that is available today to heat and cool this whole building.
Yeah. Tell us, we're not going to be able to tour them, but the hotel, all 5 floors have been revitalized. So how does that work?
Well, basically we started from the 5th floor, and we've made 11 suites on each floor, and they've all been completed to date. Recently, in the last month or two, we've been focusing on the basement. So we're getting closer and closer. Like I always tell everybody, we should have opened last week, but there's a small crew of us who've been working hard, and we're trying to get it done, and we're excited to show everybody.
Liam, so the top floor has 11 suites. Now, there's different levels of the suites that are care levels, I guess we would say. Talk to me about that.
Well, basically what the vision is, we're going to do alternative living. So we'll have, suites for seniors, and some of the other floors we're going to focus in on perhaps doing a bed and breakfast on the mezzanine, or, executives who want 3 meals a day and don't have to worry about anything, they can come stay here.
Yeah. Well, we were in the room that has a king-size bed in the bedroom, but it also has Elton John's couch.
Yeah, Verna had furnished when Elton John played in Regina. Yeah. She had been asked to furnish his room, and that couch that Elton John's sat on is actually here in the mezzanine. So
people, maybe she can have the theme room, and it might be an Elton John room. We'll have some chandeliers and stuff.
And some candles probably too.
Yeah, candles, yeah, exactly. So, but downstairs on the main floor where we are now, there's a restaurant, and also not necessarily just a restaurant, but a place for the people who live here to eat.
Basically how it's going to work is on the main floor will be a restaurant open to the public and a lounge open to the public, and then the room that we're standing in here, this will be one of the banquet rooms. And then, as I showed you earlier, the Al Schwinghammer Library.
Yes.
We'll have that. He was very instrumental in supporting Verna to not give up when everything looked black.
Yeah. And of course, that room is, the table in there is marble, like about 12 or 15 feet long. That's an amazing table. And then the ambiance in the room is just phenomenal. People are going to really want to come and just sit in the library.
I hope so.
Yeah. Around the fireplace.
Around the fireplace.
There's fireplaces all over here.
Yes, there is. There's fireplaces on the mezzanine. There's fireplaces on every floor, actually. So people can sit around in the sitting rooms, and There's a place for them to have supper, so supper will be served from the kitchen. We're looking for an executive chef who will prepare all the meals and send them up to the suites.
It's just a wonderful place. Now, Brian, you, of course, with Heritage Moose Jaw are just enamored of the fact that this has taken place in our community, and you can showcase the things that are here.
You know, when you think about yours, talking about Elton John, the presence in the building with some furniture that Verna provided, King George and his wife, the Queen Mum, were in this hotel in 1939. Charles Lawton, Roy Rogers, Rocket Richard, Deep the Chief, Mark Kinney and his band, the Western Gentlemen, were here. The Von Trapp family here when they played the theater, did a production. They stayed at the hotel. So the best of the best have been here and stayed here. And just imagine in Moose Jaw, sort of in the middle of nowhere, that this building was a gathering place.
Yeah. Now, Liam, do you have a record of that kind of those people? Are you going to put something up in the rooms? Is that a possibility?
I'm not sure. I know Brian's been very, very good at looking in the archives. He can speak to that. I don't know too much about the history. I'm just enamored to even hear about it. Yeah, it's amazing. Brian's got a wealth of knowledge, and I've been privileged to hear about it.
And of course, Ray Gervais and CHAB used to be here.
That's right. And before CHAB, 10AB, which I believe was Pat Bailey, was the first license obtained, and that's another story. But yes, they were on the fourth floor in the West Wing, and that goes back to the days of Cy Knight and off the top of my head, I just can't think.
Pascal.
There, yes. You'd probably know more of those names.
Well, when I was a little kid, I remember listening to Pally on every morning at 8:15 doing the sports for one of the local car dealerships. It was very famous.
Yes, it was truly, architecturally, it did what it's supposed to be, created a sense of place and a gathering place for people.
Yeah. No, and it'll return to be that. And so Heritage Week next week, you have, of course, the thing at the museum at 7:30, but there's also something on Wednesday afternoon, is there not?
Actually, Thursday afternoon, on the 21st of February, 2:30 to 3:30, in, I believe, the reading room upstairs in the library. We'll be presenting an update on Ross School, its past, its present, and what its next 100 years offers. And also we'll be talking, there's been a tremendous amount of interest still in the water reservoir. We did a tour there 3 years ago, had over 400 people came out, and I'm constantly being asked about the water reservoir. So I'm going to be talking to people about the water reservoir, and we'll talk about a few myths that surround the water reservoir in town and have been around for decades. And we'll share that with the people. The people have a keen interest in what in our infrastructure and in our built heritage in this city.
Yeah. And so how about, I'm trying to think of things that are going to happen here. Are there any ghost stories about this hotel?
None that I'm aware of, but if I sure would ask people to bring them forward, because that builds into the folklore of the building, and that's something that you and Liam were mentioning here. We will certainly work and do all we can from a heritage point of view to gather as much information, to have that available, to have that posted in the building, and also when we get into the QR codes, where we have the QR codes on our architecture in downtown, where people can go and visit the website and find out the stories that go with the building.
Yeah. Now, Liam, you've been working here. Any ghosts help you out while you're here?
Well, sometimes you hear some strange noises, so you wonder. So
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So and that's, of course, all the people that have been here, but also it's a great heritage location in the community. And how many people have been involved with the recreation of this facility since we started back 5 years ago?
I have a crew of about 10 full-time guys, so it's different that from other projects because we don't have 100 people working here all at one time. We've used local contractors. Aero Electric did our electrical infrastructure here, and then I've got 10 guys working hard, slowly but surely. But
oh, there's not any dust in here, is there?
No, there's lots of dust. While we're doing construction, we try to keep it down, but there's dust. As long as we're doing construction, there's going to be dust.
Yeah, and of course, there's a little story behind us too. We've only got a couple of minutes left, but there's a cow behind me here. Do you know the story behind this cow, Liam?
Oh, that's the cow that took care of Verna. It was very, very followed her around and made sure that none of the other cows bothered her. But she had it mounted here. And
because there's lots of unique things, and the rooms are themed down on this level. And so I know that people, when they come here, are just going to go like, wow, and they're just going to, they have to come like 2 or 3 times to see the things that are available to them.
Well, before we open, I want to make sure that we have everything in place. We want to do it right. So we're not going to rush to open it up just for the sake of opening it up. We're going to make sure we're staffed correctly. We're going to make sure that we have a solid executive chef that is providing cuisine, Saskatchewan-based. Yeah. And from there, we'll go forward.
Well, great. Well, guys, I want to say thank you for letting us come in, Liam, and for Brian for celebrating this. And I know people will be quite fascinated when they see what has happened here.
On the show the presentation on Tuesday night, Liam will be there, as well as Verna Elford will be there, and Verna is prepared as well to answer questions, and Liam will be able to provide a few more of the details on the story on the rebuild of the Grand Hall.
Yeah, and the whole Elford family are so involved with this process. It's there's some creative genius that wanders through here, and people will really have the opportunity to go back in time and celebrate our heritage, because Moose Jaw is very famous for that.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Me either. Okay, so that wraps us up for here. I want to say thanks to Brian and Liam for taking time out of their busy schedules to be with us, and we'll see you again soon on Moose Jaw This Week.
The opinions expressed on the program you have just watched are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of this station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.